How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
Talking about COVID, I guess.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why were we going to talk about COVID?
Because that's another way America isn't free.
Why is America not free because of COVID?
Well, because they say you have to wear a mask. Here's the thing. Do you have to listen to them? Yes. Do you want to get sick? No. But here's the thing. That makes America not free. You know why? Well, you want to know why it doesn't make America free? It makes America not free because it isn't,
Because people are kind of forcing you to do something you don't want to do?
like, I don't want to wear a mask. Like,
all the time?
No. Like, let's just say I went out to a grocery store.
A grocery school?
No, a grocery store, sorry. And you wanna know something?
What?
So I would go into a grocery store without a mask, and then an employee would walk up to me, and then they would say, "You're not allowed. You have to have a mask on." I'm all like, "Why do you have to wear a mask?"
Well, they're not that harsh down here in South Carolina, huh?
Yeah, not like that. That's just an exaggeration.
But in North Carolina, they might be a little more like that.
And they would fight to the death whoever gets a mask or not.
What do you think? How do you feel about being out of school? Does that take away your freedom? Your freedom to socialize with your friends? What do you think about the vaccine?
I mean, like, here's the real thing. If they come out with the COVID vaccine, is it actually gonna work?
What do you think?
I mean, it could work, but it couldn't work in ways. So, I mean, like, it could work, like, let's say, there's a 50% chance it could work, and 50% it couldn't work. 50-50. So, that's a problem. And nobody came out with the COVID vaccine yet, so we're still stuck in quarantine and we still have to wear a mask and stuff. It is annoying.
Do you know how many people have died from COVID?
How?
About 300,000. That's a lot, huh?
I feel like on the news they say like 40,000 or so. I'm like,
no, I think it's getting pretty close to 300,000. But do you know how many people are in America? Over 300 million. So that is like 300,000 people dying from COVID.
That would be like 3% or so.
No, it would be 0.1%. 0.1%. Do you think it's really worth taking away all of our freedoms for 0.1%? Do you know how many people have gone into poverty since COVID has happened? Do you know what poverty is?
Mm-mm.
It's when people are really, really poor. When people are so poor that they have to get the government to assist them in living. And you want to know what's really crazy?
Huh.
So the government has a war on poverty, and people who make too little money to pay for taxes, like to be on the tax roll, they actually get kicked out of the statistics. So there are people in this country that are so poor, they don't even rate to be impoverished. They don't even rate to be in poverty. They're that poor. And do you want to know how many people went into poverty over the COVID lockdown? Over 8 million.
Which is like 3%. Well, no, that would
probably
be
closer to 3%. Yeah, because 9 million would be 3% of 300 million. So that is like...
How would 9 million have more percent than 300 million?
Well, see, 100 million, 3 million would be 3% of 100 million. So if you had 300 million, then 3 plus 3 plus 3 is what?
9.
And that's how I get 9 million. Are you worried about the future? Are you worried about what's going to happen?
Yes and no.
Yeah?
Yes and no. That's the thing.
Well, what are you worried about? What are you not worried about?
Okay, what I'm worried about is that by the end of COVID, people are going to start fighting to the death. What I'm not worried about is that we don't have to wear a mask and it won't annoy all of us because we don't like wearing a mask. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Well, why do you think people would fight to the death over COVID?
No, they would fight over the death.
They would fight over the death?
They would fight to death because of COVID ending, because some people like COVID and some people didn't.
Who likes COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes COVID, except for the governors and the people on a power grab, huh? Like the people who are grabbing power.
Yeah, say someone on quarantine. Power out. I mean, that won't be much of an effect to people that have solar panels. But,
good thing we have solar panels.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't have a whole lot of restrictions here in South Carolina, do we? But North Carolina has a lot of restrictions.
Oh,
their kids aren't even in school anymore. And you want to know what's really crazy? So you remember how last time I was telling you about plants and how the government locks people up over plants?
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that the government would lock people up over hurting little kids, right? Like, that's way worse than having plants, right? Yeah, we can agree on that. And you would think that the government would lock people up over hurting women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the governor of North Carolina actually declared three males who were accused of violently hurting a woman. He declared them innocent. Just innocent. With no real evidence that he showed the people. And then, in North Carolina, the Bar Association, so the state of North Carolina, just let one of those attorneys I was telling you about, that their only job is there to harass the people of the state by bringing criminal charges against them. They let him off the hook when he let a man off the hook for hurting a little girl. For hurting and traumatizing a little girl. Now, are these the type of people that you would want deciding whether you get a vaccine or not?
Nah.
Did I make you get all your vaccines?
No.
No, but you got a couple, huh? Just a few.
What?
That's about the face you were giving me when you got them.
No. I'm confused right now.
So, the moral of the day is COVID's taken away our freedoms, huh?
Uh-huh.
And we'd rather have freedoms and no safety than safety and no freedoms. Is that right?
That doesn't make sense. But I guess it's right.
Well, I mean, if you have safety and no freedoms, what good is the safety? And if you have freedoms, you don't necessarily have to have safety, because when are you ever really 100% safe? I mean, come on. I'm your dad. I know I dropped you on your head at least once or twice when you were a little bit. Just being honest. I mean, it's not like I did it on purpose. So COVID makes us less free. Would you rather be less safe or less free?
Less free.
You'd rather be less free?
Okay, less safe.
Well, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to it.
Both.
You know? What do you mean both?
I mean, like, I want 50.
You would rather be less safe and less free? You don't want to be safe or free?
like, okay. If I had an option, I would probably less free.
Less free? You know what? I probably wouldn't do that in your position. You want to know why?
Why?
Because if I were in your position, the way I would look at it is my father is in charge of my safety. So I would rather have all the freedoms I could get. Because I know that my dad, who's in charge of my safety, he's not going to let me down on that job, huh?
Okay, I would rather have less safe. Honestly.
Did I talk you into it?
Yeah.
So, Jacob, you can't be a man without what?
Manners.
That's right. You got something to say to him?
Like, subscribe, click that bell to never miss another video, and share the videos because YouTube algorithms won't.
Awesome. This little man is why I do everything I do. Y'all have a good one.
Also, if you want a part 3, like and subscribe. Bye, guys. Okay. Hey, you guys want to play some games?
Who wants to play games? We're going to be in Tennessee. Email us if you wish. Got an email address right there. It's also in the description, right, bud?
Yeah, also don't forget to check, the part 1 of these series. This is part 2 of yeah, so it's part 2.
You're going to tell them about voting?
Yeah, also don't forget to vote. Comment the section. Jacob or the helper. Right now the Jacob.
Vote Jacob or the helper. Probably hard to hear him.
Vote Jacob or the helper. Sorry if you can't hear me in this thing.
This is just fun.
Yeah. Can I breathe in this thing? Yes. Can I breathe real air like from outside? No.
Alright, tell them peace.
Peace.
Don't make us have to wear this stuff for real.
Yeah.
Don't make us have to wear this stuff for real.
Bye. Oopsie, I didn't shoot. I think mine's out of bullets.